Why, hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. This is a Talk to Showboat. Today is Tuesday, March 22nd, 2022. It is spring, finally. Oh boy, we're finally getting some better weather-ish. At least it's a little bit warmer uh on average. And yeah, I may need to adjust my camera a little bit. I'm just noticing because this is a black shirt and it looks extremely black. Hi, Ollie. How is the Ollie? We'll go to this screen. It won't be as noticeable. Hi. Hey. Hey, Ollie. How you doing? Huh? Can you look that way? Yeah, there you are. There's the Ollie. There's the Ollie. He's right there. He's next to me. He's getting his pets. He's getting his pets. Yes, he is. What's the matter? Are you gonna run and play? You ran up. You ran up to me, huh? You ran up to me, Mr. Cat. Yeah. Yeah. Hi. Yeah, what's that? What's that, Ollie? Schniffies? Schniffies? Hi. Hi, big boy. How are you? Yeah. Yeah, you trying to bite me? You trying to bite me? Hey. Hey. Daba. Yes, he wants to play. He wants to play. I can't get a good view on him right now, so because he's like right there on top of the camera. Could you get anyway. Don't grab my arm, please. That would be great. So, I'm a little bit exhausted physically at the moment because, well, I did quite a bit of work. Hey, you're grabbing my arm, kitty. You're grabbing my arm. Hey, that's teeth. Get off to the side, thanks. Can I just here? Come on. Get off the desk. Yeah, that got him off quick. All I have to do is bring in the can of the compressed air to show to the cat, and he's gone. He gone. He has left the table. Hey, thank you so much for renewing your membership. Thank you so much for that. So yeah, over the weekend I was doing a lot of physical work, trying to do some spring cleaning and organizing some stuff in the den behind me, as well as in here, getting a lot of boxes disassembled for storage and such, and pulling out as many magazines as I could to go through and throw out. How have I been? I've been fine. I've been fine generally. We've been continuing with our Pyandons series here, and I've been lately doing quite a bit of manual labor around the house because, yeah, my mother has a lot of magazines, and we need the space. So I have pulled them out. She wants to go through a number of them to decide what she wants to keep versus throw away. I say throw them all away, but no, we have to keep some of them. As I've mentioned, my mother sings in opera, at least sung in opera, and was a singer for a church as part of the choir for a good long while, and then the pandemic happened, and she's not doing that anymore. At least not for that church that she was singing at. So she has a number of magazines that are related to her work, that are part of her business property, that she wants to hold on to Those are Classical Singer magazine, as well as what's the other one? Opera News, I think, is the other one. And yeah, we have a lot of those. Those are the bulk of the magazines that exist, but there I think there's more actually of the random types. We're getting rid of a lot of like catalog type magazines that came in the mail, and like local magazines from like 2012, 2008, stuff that we've held on to since early 2000s. I even found some stuff from the 90s, late 90s. I'm like, you don't ever look at this. And they're just in boxes. Like you're not reading any of these ever, and you still have them. You know that I'm just going to throw them away when you pass away, right? Like no matter what, I'm pretty sure you're not going to look at them for the rest of your life. So why do we have them? Anyway, that's what I've been going through. I sorted through as much as I could of the magazines after pulling them out of several bins, and even a clothes hamper, a few boxes, because a lot of these we've brought from our previous house before my mother bought this house. When we were renting a significantly smaller house that after we left ended up being demolished and sold, and new house exists on that plot. So it's like, oh great, this house we lived in for more than a decade is gone. It needed to be gone. We shouldn't have stayed there as long as we did, because it should have been demolished. But anyway, we're here. We have to deal with some of these things, and we're still dealing with stuff from my grandmother's house that after she passed away that we had brought down from Massachusetts. We've still got boxes we haven't opened yet, and it's been well over a year now. Like a year and a half. Not really. Actually, no, not a full. Yeah, I'm trying to remember because dates happened. Pandemic happened and dates just flew out the window. It's hard to conceptualize time lately and how much time has passed. But anyway, it happened a while ago. Actually, I think it was over a year ago, because the house sold last year and we had taken stuff out before that over a period of time. Yeah, it the property was transferred with the final closing early last year, so the last time we were there was like in August 2020, bringing stuff back, and that's when I had went and we took like a week break. So yeah, that was that. We still have boxes we haven't opened of the stuff that we've brought with us, and there's stuff that needs to be organized. We don't have shelving to put stuff on is our biggest issue, and we don't have space for the shelving because we have boxes of stuff that needs to be put onto shelves. It's a little bit infuriating. So, last time we met for Factorio, we set up the Kmauts food, or rations, somewhere in this big base. Not that button. That button. The Kmauts food. Yeah, we set this up over here, making a little bit. Not this much, though. Not this much, though. I think I had set up... Because, yeah, this would need, like, a lot more skin. Did I just, like... Oh. I don't think I was paying attention to the numbers here. because we did this sort of at the end of the last stream as like the last thing that we did after spending a significant amount of time setting up Dilmo. Let's have a look at Dilmo. Dilmo eggs. We set this up over here. Oh, I see. They're like all near each other. Yeah, this was a big part of last time as well as the food. And yeah, it just, I don't know, it's been taking a while to get stuff done lately in this save. Of course, I have done absolutely nothing between streams, between last time and this time. Really, this is my first time even looking at the game since the last time we've met, because I have been playing a lot of Distant Worlds 2 lately. One of, apparently very few people. It unfortunately has not been performing all that well for sales and such, and people who have bought it are not playing it as much right now because it does have some problems. It does have some problems with it, and they are being addressed. There are a combination of performance issues, crashing, etc. that are being fixed first and continue to be fixed, are mostly fixed now, actually. In terms of crashing issues, I haven't had crashing issues for a couple of patches now, and they're releasing a patch basically every single business day, even on Saturdays. And if they don't release one, it's usually the next day. So it's either 1 to 2 days they release a new patch fixing more stuff. So it's not like they're not working on it, which is a good sign. But there's also some performance FPS drops, especially in the late game, and especially on the research screen. And there's also some bugs, actual gameplay related bugs and issues, and lack of clarity on what stats do, etc., that are all going to eventually be addressed once they get through all this performance and stability stuff. And I'm sure that there are people who are now not playing until more updates happen, is the whole point that I'm trying to make here. Is like, oh, even though there's not that many now, I'm sure that once things get fixed, there will be more who are playing. I just continue to try to learn as I go, as I continue starting over and over and over again, restarting over and over and over again. I have completed one playthrough in 100 hours. Hi, Ollie. He's brought a toy. He's here. Hi. Yeah, you have a toy. Where'd it go? Where'd it go, Ollie? He brought this. Yeah, he's looking. Yeah, you see it? There it is. There it is. It's on the thing. It's next to you. Huh? It's here. It's here. Hey, you. Go that way. Hey, you. Yeah. Hey, that's your claw. That's your claw on my finger. And you knocked it down. I can't find it. I can't find it. Hey, come on, you. It's not the greatest of dedicated cat cam, but it's a camera nonetheless. Now, this is an actual, like, photo camera, not really a video camera or webcam or anything like that. So it's really bulky, and it's not on a, like, stand. It's just, like, on the desk on a little thing. It's like sitting on my wallet right now. Quite literally, it's just on the wallet to raise it up a little bit higher above the level of the towel we have on the desk. But yeah, it's also like really low frame rate because it's not designed for this purpose. But fortunately, Canon with the pandemic, released a utility that lets you use the camera as a webcam. They did it for a number of their cameras. But the output is over USB 2.0, and therefore it's not enough bandwidth to get good frame rates, even at 720p. And of course, we can't actually pick anything lower than 720p. What are you doing? What are you doing, Ollie? What you doing over there? Huh? And of course, there's no auto zoom or auto focus either. There's no autofocus. It's just me having to manually focus and try to maneuver the camera around. But yeah, Ollie's here. Hi, Ollie. Joining me. You're gonna bite me? Yes. You're gonna swipe at me. He's a playful hunter. That's what he is. He's a hunter. Oh, and there's me on the side there. Hey, you. How's Ollie? Anyway, what we need to do today is we need to set up the Kmauts. That's going to be priority 1, I suppose. I wonder if I had set up the sarin food while looking at this. Quite possibly. Or the Kmaut rations, I don't know. Yeah, we need at least 0.1 per second for the tendons to get the sarin to make the alien bacteria, to make the ethanolamine, to make the GTA or gene transfer agent, to make the utility-based to make the vat brain-based utility science, which is my goal for the moment. I still have a few researches that are at Purple Science that will need to happen at some point or other. I've gone through the bulk of what I need, but getting into utility science, at least at a trickle, will come in handy because of things like mining productivity. Not really as important as you might think at the moment, the way that I'm doing things, but in particular, there's robot speed upgrades that I will be able to pick up. Like 3 levels of robot speed upgrades. That's going to be convenient. And of course, there's going to be the tech, the utility science tech, that will allow me to do the cotton gut based utility science recipe. Now, no matter what, I'm still going to have to set up circuit 3s and circuit 4s in order to get into space science. This is just going to give us more options as we progress through and go into circuit 3s and circuit 4s, and a lot of the items that are otherwise required for utility science on the standard recipe, and a lot of the items as otherwise required for the even production science standard recipe. It's just gonna unlock more recipes. So hello, welcome. We actually have more people here than usual. It's good to see you all. On this day, I need to pull in my Kmaut enclosures, if I have any. Oh, of course not. Why would I have Kmaut enclosures? Do I have any? No, of course not. Why would I ever make those in my mall? Why would I ever make Kmaut enclosures? Like, what? We aren't doing this for a long time, aren't we? Ahem. He says, the stream that we are making the Kmauts. So this will take a little bit of time to build up. It's these guys, right? Yep. And just making sure I actually can make them. The answer is yes. Yes, I can actually make them. I'm gonna make like 50 per stack there. Yeah, we have all the things. We have all the things but the other thing. Looks fine by me. Alright, so while that's happening, let's pull in a few, a few slaughterhouses, because I didn't actually build to proper scale last time. Just a few slaughterhouses. And what else will I need back over here? Because, yeah, it's like 1, 1, 1, 4. Okay, I got those 4. I need like 10, 3, and 2 on here. And I need another botanical nursery placed on here to actually get the outputs that I need. Looks like I got the 3 oil burners, so that's fine. Alright. To my train. While we fix that little scale issue. And yeah, I just want to remind folks that I am, in fact, even though I may look okay, I am, and even if I may sound okay as well, I am immensely fatigued. Immensely fatigued, so I may make more mistakes than usual today as we go along. I may make several more mistakes than usual today and get very, very easily distracted. Just because I am quite sore, and it looks like the cat has left, so turn that back off again. Maybe we'll get Dolly at some point joining me behind my head, as she usually does. But yeah, just this whole mission of clearing out space in the den and in here and in the other office down here, like the whole downstairs area. As I said, it is a mission to get done, but it needs to get done. Absolutely, we need to make things look nicer. We need to have actual space to live and use these rooms. And that even includes this office. There's a whole bunch of stuff on the other side of my TV over here. Just a whole bunch of boxes that need to go. Huh? Like, wait a minute. Oh, that's in a construction zone. Right. It's in a logistic zone. I'm like, why aren't you placing the thing? Because another robot's already going to go and do that. Alright, this guy... It's gonna be that same problem. We need, for bones, how many? 2? There's the 2 for bones, and we need 10? Really now? I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, that's the other thing about cleaning up. There's a lot more dust in the air that's been kicked up. That is only 8. Ba-ba. Ba-ba. 9, 10. Why, hello, Ollie. Welcome back. He's nuzzling the camera. He is nuzzling the camera. Hey, you. Hey, big boy. Where you going? Where you going? You came and now you're leaving again? What you doing? What you doing? Yeah? Are you gonna go in the chair? You're looking at me. You're looking at me. What you doing? What you doing, Big Ollie? Huh, so among all the need for furniture around here, I wanted to mention, I have a piano next to me. If you're new around here, a little while back, I had bought a electric piano, full 88 key piano, with the intent to eventually learn how to play the piano. And for several months, it has been sitting next to me, and I haven't really touched it because it's massive. And if it's on the desk that's next to me, it sits way too high for me to use it. Like if I actually have it on the desk right here next to me, it sits this high off the desk, the actual keys. And if you can probably tell, it's a little too high to actually play. This chair does not get tall enough. This chair is actually broken and it can't get tall enough. So I have arriving today a piano stand that I have finally broken down and bought to use for the piano. That unfortunately will also mean that I won't be able to just reach next to me to tap keys on the piano on occasion. Like, I don't even have the program up to hear it right now, but I can't have it on this side of me because there's a closet here. And of course, there's the green screen. I'd have the thing poking way out past the green screen because it's full 88 key piano. It's like I just don't have the space. I would need to like shift the whole setup to the left, and I already have some issues with wire length. Under my desk, it's like a complete nest. It's a bird's nest of wires under my desk right now. Let's see. I also needed a third one of these, right? It's a mess because I have the computer in the closet next to me, so I don't have to, so that it doesn't make so much noise that it gets picked up by the camera if I were to have it closer. Theoretically, yeah, I could move some furniture out of the way next to me and move this desk setup over enough to have the piano on my right, and I'd have to bring the computer out. But if I bring the computer out, the problem I have with doing that is that, unfortunately, with the case that I have for it, the power button is on the top. We have 2 cats in this house. And I have already had circumstances when they were much smaller as kittens where they have gotten into the closet, jumped on the computer, and shut down the computer one time while I was streaming. So I'm very diligent about keeping those sliding doors as closed as possible, because they will absolutely go in and jump on top of the computer and end up pushing the power button on the computer. So unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to do this big rearrangement until I get a new case where the power button is not on the top of the computer. I'll probably be ordering a case relatively soon. I've been wanting to change out the case and do some rearrangement and use it as a reason to try to organize a lot of these wires under me. Anyway, we've scaled up the Kmaut rations over here a bit by placing those buildings to actually have the proper outputs, and by now I should at least have a few of the... Really? Oh, they're bringing them to me. Because I'm on the way. They're bringing them to me. I don't need those, thanks. Not yet. Oh, they brought me... I forgot about that. Oops. So there's probably a bunch of them. Oh, they're all here. How far away are those? Those doohickeys? Oh, there's one way out there. Now you can bring me stuff. And things. Yeah, see, you've got a Kmaut enclosure. This is the downside of having my entire rail network being on a single grid. And that's why it's one of the reasons why I wanted to not do this, but my own laziness overcame my disdain of having to do this. God, the performance penalty, though. That's another reason I didn't want to do it. It's just, big networks like that really tank performance. They seriously tank performance. It's awful. Absolutely awful. And of course, it introduces a little bit of an issue where if I have any problems with power whatsoever, like if my power dies, oh boy, that's a lot of accumulation for these roboports that needs to happen. I need to overcorrect by a huge factor in order to recover from any power issues. That being said, I don't have a lot of spare power right now. Oh, but you're only using 5.5 out of 13.8. I'm using 5.5, and I have 60 particle accelerators that are not in active use right now. That will use a lot more power when they are active. Therefore, my actual power draw, the potential max power draw, I believe at the moment is actually even higher than 13.8, which that's one thing that Satisfactory does that I wish that Factorio does, which is show what the theoretical max power draw is if all of the buildings were operating. They tank the PC performance. They tank the FPS UPS of the game by having this huge logistic network. It absolutely tanks game performance. Anyway, I need to get rid of this stuff. I don't need any of that sitting in my inventory. I have 24. Isn't that how many I needed? Yep. Alright, bring me creature chambers as well. Yeah, I have enough of those. If I had not done what I did with the network stuff, I would be still close to 60 frames per second. I want to make that clear. Making the single logistic network across my entire rail setup has cost at least 10 FPS. By doing that one thing and that one thing alone. Anyway, Kmauts. Kmauts. Make me my Kmauts. I'm gonna do this over here. How big of a station do I need for the Kmauts? Oh, I didn't break down the fish oil. So I do need slaughterhouses. God, this is just for 10. This is just for 10! Oh boy. How far is the Spidertron research? Well, I mean, I need military science, and I haven't made military science. It's super easy. I could do it at any point, really. But, yeah, I mean, I have most of the techs. I don't plan on making a Spidertron, or using one. I mean, I've never really seen a point to the Spidertron's existence in the first place. I've never had a need to use it. And there are better vehicle stuffs I can use. Anyway, let's go build us a train station. I mean, there's no point. It's like, it's really slow. Like, I need to traverse a map that's huge. I'm not going to do that in Spidertron. Like, the Fidicis holds a ton of stuff by comparison, and it flies. Like, it doesn't interact with any obstacles, because it just flies on over. And the train is faster still than any of the other vehicles, this high-tech train, so I have no reason to use the Spidertron. Oh yeah, turn off personal logistics. I mean, it for now, I am, as long as I'm not in here, it's fine. As long as I'm not here, I'm okay, because I'm outside of my zone. But yeah, I should always, I have to remember to turn this off. Actually, is there a... Huh. I wish that this was a button for here. I wish that this was a button for here. So I've already tried to have a vehicle do automation, and unfortunately it didn't really work all that well because it requires me to physically be in the thing. So these trains have slots for stuff, right? And the wagons, they have slots for stuff. I've got roboports and power in these things. In these wagons. The wagons also have robots, and generally would usually have rail in there. I wanted to use this to assist with building out my rails without me having to physically be there. Unfortunately, the train does not actually do anything if I am not in the specific wagon. Like, I have to physically be in here before the game actually assigns tasks to the actual robots that are in this wagon. And I have to be in this wagon, not the train. I have to be here, this wagon, physically in it before it actually starts assigning stuff. So I was like, doesn't that defeat the purpose? That, like, totally defeats the purpose. I mean, yeah, I can have a bigger range, and I can have more bots in that slot, but I still have to, like, go physically and be in these locations and actually build things. And I don't know about whether or not the Spidertron would be any different from that. Anyway. We're going to try to build outside of that zone. Give me the fish. Give me the oil. Yes, we are extracting fish oil from fish. Actually, is it? It is just 100. All right. Productively. So we have 8 fish into 100. Yeah, we have 8 fish into 120 actually. So that's the fish oil. It's actually used later, so I didn't really need to do this in this area first. Oh well. Give me automated factories. Why are these not just on the thing here? Oh, I needed steel. Right. Right? Yeah, because I need the barrels. Oh, this is actually good. So remember what I did with the cages last time? With having this logic? I can do the same thing with steel, requesting steel. To make empty barrels. However, what's going to end up happening here is that I'm not going to be checking this chest. I'm going to be checking something else. I am going to have to, like, extend this network to here and set this to be steel rather than cages. So you are making empty barrels, and you are making full water barrels, or you're filling water barrels. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to have a chest up here, actually 2 chests up here. That load in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my power, and I'm going to wire all of this up to there. And that is still the check. Let's see, 480 each. So let's do a check for 500-ish, maybe. So with this requesting steel, actually, let's not make this 500. Let's make it a little bit less. Let's make it actually 480. Or even like 400. Just a little more than the 300 of the cages, because, you know, these stack to 10 and we've got a bit more complex of a setup here. I might actually want to check a couple of things. You don't reach. Now this is going to check everything, the total of everything, if all signals meet the condition. Now, I'm going to assume that this everything signal is an addition, at like an and in here, or not really an and, but a sum of all inputs. That's my assumption, is that this is a sum of all inputs. I want it to be less than or equal to 400 to be enabled. Otherwise, it turns off and it stops bringing steel in. Why I want the double check there is because I don't want the system to die from having too many barrels or water barrels. And if I have a backup on the Kmauts, like if I've made and filled up my buffers of the Kmauts, the first things that will back up are the filled barrels. So I could just check for the filled barrels and then it will stop making more barrels. But it can be a little bit problematic, I should say. I mean, really, I should be outputting here and like cycling it around and having an input priority, right? That's going to be a little safer to do. Also, with like, what's taking so long on you? Well, duh. It was outside of the range of the thing. Maybe I should start just carrying around some of these. Anyway, that is going to be a slightly better solution, as opposed to having to constantly bring in steel to make the empty barrels and then hemming and hawing over whether I've made enough or not, or if I've made too many, having to go and manually fix it. Having some logic like this is going to mean that it will just go until it has enough. And once it has enough, it stops. And it does that automatically for me. You know what we'll do? I'm trying to think. So there's 1, 2, 3 belt of input. I think I should really add another space. Really thinking I should add another space. Let me look at... Not you. Let me look at you again. So right now I am doing the... so yeah, you do increase your output. So I'm looking at this 9 pup output recipe using Renea and Tufra. I could do 6 and just eat more Kmout rations, but no. But no. No thank you. Eventually I will do this one that gives me 15 pups, so an extra, 6, 50% more Kmout pups by adding in a pheromone input, and it's just pheromones, but it's still 3 belts. It's 4 belts. 1, 2, 3 belts. Yes, exactly 3 belts. So as long as I have the space for 3, we should be good. No matter what. So I think I can actually keep this spacing as is. And so I will keep this spacing as is. Doing 3 belts on the other side is fine. It's easy enough. It makes it a little bit simpler on the other logistics. Yeah. And that's the basic setup there. Just go up and go down. I guess I should add the other belts as well. This is very belt heavy, in case you hadn't noticed. And my nanobots can build the things. At this point, I don't need my robots doing so. So much better than having just the robots building all of these. Can I remove that safely? Yeah, technically, but I'll keep it there. Okay. Not that high of throughput in these individual things. Oh yeah, it would help if I actually had my Kmauts. However many I have of them. You're still not here. Where are you? I should see a white square making its way up here. Oh, please don't tell me it tried to request one from way far away. It probably requested one from, like, down here, and it has to fly all the way up and all the way over. Yeah, that's most likely what ended up happening. The robot was physically far away from the spot. Oh. Hi. That's not a great thing. That's not very good. Yeah, this is a thing that is in fact not good. Fortunately, I have a stockpile for the moment. Hello, good morning. I'm just noticing I will need to fix molybdenum because the mines ran out down there. I've got a different area where I am mining molybdenum and putting it onto the train network, so I will, in fact, just request ore now. That molybdenum patch where I'm currently processing molybdenum in here, this patch, isn't particularly ore dense, which is a bit problematic. I have a different area where I am actually doing that, where I'm mining. Now, I am supplying some ore from a different mining drill up here, but yeah, I'm just gonna reverse it because I'm getting it elsewhere, and I'm getting it much faster elsewhere. Yeah, I've got a few belts. I can add a few more belts to that input there. And or what I really should be doing is using my, where am I? What I really should be doing is just not processing the ore at all into plates. I should be importing the Mu3 from my Simics. I have Simic processing of molybdenum right now. Yeah, Pi mods are definitely definitely major performance hogs. It's been specifically designed to eat all of the performance of the game to make you not be at 60 frames. And this is partially like intentional. It was intended to be this way. Let's see if I have enough rail to add 2 more solid inputs. And a fluid input. Yeah, Pyandon gets a little carried away at times, along with King Arthur and the other folks doing work on making these mods. I know that alternative energy is eventually going to arrive. It will eventually arrive. But expect it to change significant amounts of stuff. Expect it to change a lot about the experience. There's just gonna be a lot of things. Would UPS be the same as, say, TPS? Well, what's TPS? Are you making a shooter reference? I don't know. Ticks per second. More RimWorld reference. Okay. I think it's similar. Yeah. Because in this game, by default, the frame rate and the logical frame rate, the visual frame rate and the logical frame rate are tied. As you can see, they're tied together. So all of the calculations happen at the same rate as the visual output. There are actually mods that can decouple this from each other, but generally speaking, the actual game will run at the same rate as your frame rate, and they will be tied together in this particular game, at least. That you may know of a few games where this can actually be an issue. Specifically, some RPGs like Dark Souls had an issue on PC release where certain things like durability of weapons would be tied to your frame rate. So if you used your weapon, the durability would go down significantly more if you had a higher frame rate than a lower one, because it was based off of active frames of using the weapon. That was great. That was fantastic. I hope they actually ended up fixing that at some point. This is why a number of JRPGs and such get locked to 30 frames per second, and why a lot of those Japanese games in general get tied to 30 frames per second, because that's what they've done. A lot of their logical, they've made some logic assumptions that the game would be running at 30 when doing a lot of time-based math. Because rather than looking at actual time, it's looking that's passed. It's looking at number of frames that's passed when doing their mathematics. Anyway, let's continue working on this. You know that whole line I just drew? Yeah, I have to do it again. Because these buildings up here don't have a productivity bonus, and these buildings now do. Have you built the thing yet? Yes. Finally. Gib steel, please. Oh, you're still on your way. Is there any indication of this thing being anywhere nearby? Nope. Might take a little while. So at least at this point, all of my rails have been built, and all of my construction bots are inactive, save for one, I guess. Yeah, there's one construction bot active right now of my nearly 4,000 construction bots. I have more construction bots than I do Logi bots right now. That's just lovely. They take a really long time to build the rails out, but it'll get significantly better once I have access to thingy-madoohickeys, to the tech upgrade at Utility Science. All right, cages. Yeah, those things. I do need a seed of cages. An initial batch. After that, I will need a burner. Because this is a cage positive setup. I in fact produce more cages than I consume. You heard, Pi Alternative Energy is wrapping up soon. Sounds like it's a few weeks off. Here's the thing about that. Pi Alternative Energy has been 2 weeks from release since Christmas. So I don't think that's any indication of when it will actually release. The goal was to have it out in time for the New Year's. It is almost April. Of course, there was reason behind that. King Arthur did come down with COVID, so there was a bit of a delay there as a result of that. But things should be back in good order now. I think that that alternative energy might actually just be ready with not that much more stuff for it. I'm thinking that a lot of what's going on now is actually the balance patch. Is that legal? Can I actually do that? Wow. Yes, I can. That is legal. Huh? Why are you backwards? Yeah, because there's a whole tech rewrite that's in progress as well, and some other balance changes that are coming, and that all needs to get tested too. And as I'm sure has happened every single time with Pyandons mods. There's feature creep. There is absolutely feature creep every single time. So as things go on, there's just more work getting tacked on, and they end up delaying release for these new quote-unquote features. That they may not actually need. Now, why are you saying that there's an underground belt in the way, even though I've very specifically lined you up? Because one of these is facing the wrong direction? Oh yeah, you're opposite. How does that keep happening? Like, all these should be pointing down. All these in the middle here should be pointing up. Grab that again. Now there's that, which is opposite as well. Alright, you are facing the wrong direction. Grab it again. That's better. Fly, my minions, fly! I mean, just as long as it doesn't get to the same level of bloat as alien life did, I'm sure it's gonna be fine. But there does have to be a point where they just say, you know what, no more. Because Pi Alternative Energy, a huge amount of work, I'm sure, has been going into the new nuclear mechanics. There's a complete overhaul with nuclear mechanics involving a lot of, I could call it byproduct radioactive material. And yeah, that's gonna be that's going to be a thing. That is absolutely going to be a thing, and I have no idea how they're going to be handling. That's still not placed. Wow. How they're going to be handling the actual power itself, if it's going to be like script based. Like, something tells me that a lot of stuff that's being put in is going to be heavily script based, and I'm not going to be too happy about it. Like scripts on building placement type shenaniganry, which will again make me question nanobots. It's like, why does it have to be this way? It's always this way. Because when nanobots place a building, none of the in Pyandons mods, none of the scripts that are supposed to run on the placement of said building actually get run. For whatever reason. Maybe that's a thing that'll actually be fixed with these coming updates to the Pi mods. Hopefully that will be fixed. If not, I will be very, very, very sad. But in terms of actual ETA, I would say that there actually is a chance that I will finish this playthrough before Alternative Energy releases. I would not have bet anything on that happening when I first started this series. But my goodness, was it a good idea for me to start this series when I did? Because, yeah, it turned out that alternative energy was not happening very shortly. It was not imminent, even back then. When did I actually start this playthrough? What month was that again? Let me look. When was stream 1? September 7th. Since early September, I have been playing through this, and Alternative Energy was supposedly almost done in September. By that point, it was almost ready. As I said, it's now March 22nd, 2022. It's been more than half a year that I've been on this playthrough. It's been more than 6 months since I began this playthrough. And, yeah, it's still not here. Alternative energy is still not here. All right, you brought me the 288 Kmauts that I have currently. That's great. I have, in fact, restocked. I don't need those things. Actually, I need no more Kmauts either. Yeah, just take it away and I will head back. That's why I came here in the first place, was to get Kmauts for the enclosures. Oh, and I guess I need some cage. Just a couple cages would be great. And while we're at it, I'll start refilling this thing. But yeah, I haven't really been particularly active looking at the Pi community Discord for a while now. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. Someone's apparently trying to make a randomizer for Pyandons mods, which is like, what? Like, what? Apparently King Arthur is saying that solder is on the list of things that need to be tweaked because it wasn't balanced for hot air. Yeah, solder is definitely in need of tweaking. I was actually looking at that not too long ago. So, I think I know what their biggest problems are right now. I'm just looking at the pinned message saying that alternative energy has lots of custom mechanics that demand time to be made. King Arthur's trying to reduce bugs and crashes because of that. And that's why the mod isn't ready yet. It's mechanics, not art. That's the issue right now, and I've known that for a while, that would be the thing that's the problem. He says, Pyanodon says that Factorio is very limited in energy generation, specifically with solar. Hard to make things work over what's hard-coded, over the hard-coded limitations of the power generation system, which is true. So I think either they're trying to make a source of power that has a higher priority than solar, which, by the way, that's hard-coded to be the top priority. Solar is hard-coded to be the top priority for power. So I don't know how they're getting around that, and why they would want something higher than solar. I don't know. Like, why would you want something higher than solar? Well, one reason to be higher than solar would be to be able to have a priority voiding of a byproduct that's making steam out of it. So if you have something that's making steam that needs to be, that the power that you're making needs to get used. This came up in Nullius, actually, a fair bit, and it's why there's this priority turbine concept in Nullius. It's so that you can void excess steam, essentially, by converting it into power and using that power preferentially over the rest of the power that you're making in the base. The problem is that if you have solar at all, solar always takes precedence over any other level of priority of power generation. Which is pretty major. You essentially have to say to people, don't use solar. But your mod is called alternative energy, which means that there's likely solar power in, like, new forms of solar power with new buildings producing solar power in Pi alternative energy, as well as priority level turbines for getting rid of steam. And therein lies an issue. There's also likely wind-based generation following similar priority patterns as the solar. This is definitely a complex issue, and when the solutions require a lot of effort and coding to try to get around. Oh, Dolly, you're here. You're joining. Are you gonna join me on the back of the chair? Yes, there's Dolly. Dolly has arrived. The pretty girl has arrived. Yes, you're here. How's a Dolly with your big bushy tail? Yes, there's that kitty. There's that pretty kitty. Yeah. Yeah, is it time to rest? And I don't think there's going to ever be an elegant solution around the solar limitation, with it being the highest priority usage. It's why in my Nullius playthrough that I eventually had stopped because it just annoyed me too much. I had I had ended up deleting my entire setup for solar because I had solar in Nullius, and I deleted it because I wanted to use priority turbines. And it was just unfortunate that I had to delete it and just not use this feature of the game. Because, yeah, that's an entire feature of the game that I felt that I just couldn't use because of the mod author's intent with how power would end up being with the various options that were available in Nullius. But anyway, all I can say is that is my educated guess based off of issues I've seen with other mods that will be doing similar things as Pi Alternative Energy. This is cages, by the way. This right here, this is cages, by the way. And I will need a voiding line. Let's see, how much excess? 2.9. Great. Ta-da. This void's up to 6 2/3, because each machine is 3 1/3 items per second for voiding. Thereabouts. Okay, I think it's just time for logistics and stuff. Steel. You know what? Bring in like a ton. Just have all of my bots bringing me steel up here. And it doesn't really matter if it's productive, so speed. Speed, glorious speed. Let's go. And do some stuff. Yes, you take the cages that I have on me. There you go, you're getting those. There's still some pipe logistics. Right, and I can do that safely and that safely to connect those. And there we go. Pipe logistics. This guy comes this way. There we go. And this goes up. To there. Glorious. I guess now all I need is the, all I need is the doohickey? Yeah, so this is the barrels. Empty barrels to the right. Ta-da! Input, input. That is my alarm saying that we are halfway through the stream, but I think I'm just going to be continuing along today. Let's keep on trucking through this. I'm gonna have shared belts on these in my normal little setup for shared belts. Ta-da! And fortunately, it doesn't really matter which is which. At least in the way that I've built this. So we've got one thing going there, and we've got one thing going there. Oh wow, that was the max. That was the max. Okay. There we go. What do we need? We need our bedding at Kmauts. Our Kmaut food at Kmauts. Our Renea at Kmauts. And our Jufra at Kmauts. Now, of course, the way that I have set this up, this will be pheromones eventually. This will one day become pheromones. And when I eventually have growth factor as well, I'll need to bring the growth factor in and, oh right. And resveratrol. Alright, I forgot about that. I'll need to respace this with an extra space between the inputs. Actually, I won't need as many as well to maintain the outputs. That's the other thing. So our fetal serum at Kmauts. Oh yeah, I completely forgot. I do need another input. I need the input for fish. I need fish for fish oil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 solids in here. Let's see, where's the line that I'm drawing? Oh yeah, and I need the, I need more than just that. I need the solid fuel. Slight problem with that is that the construction bots will try to place all these. Let me do that myself. And add in one more station. Ah, move. And that is that. Alright, now to actually put the requests in, and we will have our stuffs. So, Coke. And fish. Hey, why are you pushing? Why are you pushing the back of my neck? The fetalist of fetal serum. You are going to request Tufra. Wait. You are request Renea at Kmauts. Autosave. Okay. Renea. Tufra. Kmauts rations. And bedding. Bedding. Why no Tufra? Yeah, 8 is a lot. I need to scale my Tufra at some point as well. I will need more Tufra. That is required. Oh. Ahem. Mistake spotted. And fixed. Oh boy, so that is that actually. That is all. That is it, that is all. Yeah, now I just have to wait for Kmauts to happen. And I'm not done yet actually, because I need to do this. We need to uncage. We have to unleash. Unleash the Kmauts. And what line was the cages going? Actually, it was all going up, and then this line. That's one too high. There we go. That's the actual cages. Cage to the right. S, come out. D, come out. Power the everything, and that is that. That is absolutely that. Fish? Fishies? Fishies, I need you. Fishies? Guess I need more fishies as well. Yeah, I need more fishies. I need more Tufra. Apparently. Tufra is down here somewhere. Tufra, where did you go? Where did I put you? Thought it was down here. Maybe not. Tufra? You're there, okay. Ah, I have plenty. It's just the one. Yeah, it's just the one train. I'll need to probably add another train. What is likely limited, though, is the fish. If I look at the fish... yeah, that's a problem. That is a glassware problem to make the moss gene samples. Missed a belt after uncaging. Yes. That I have. Okay, we can't really do much else until this thing kicks into gear, shall we say? And I sorta need 2,400 come out to total for these buildings. Each one of these buildings uses 100 come out. Now here's the thing though. A speed module level 1 is the same speed as a Kmaut. The problem with that, though, if I were to say, do that, and that, I'm still 2 modules short, but whatever. Now this building uses 25 megawatts as opposed to half a megawatt. It runs at the same rate as a normal building, ish. If I had the extra 2 thingy Madoohickeys. But yeah, this is actually an option for Kmaut. Yes, baby girl. There's the baby behind me. If I had level 2 speed modules, the buildings would actually be faster with speed modules if I was willing to spend the power to do so, because that's a lot of power. It's a lot of power to do that 24 times. 24 times 25 megawatts is a lot of megawatts. It's a lot of megawatts. And I'm okay with doing this the other way. So even though we're going to get pups, and we'll have plenty of pups coming in, I will be fundamentally limited by my fish, which is limited by my glassware production. So I immediately need to take care of the glassware production before I move on to anything else, really. And unfortunately, I'm going to need to do a quick solution rather than a real solution, because the real solution to glassware would involve doing this recipe. This would be the real solution to the glassware. It would take a while to set up purified quartz to do this. It would be at least 30 minutes just to do this, to actually get some proper glassware going from purified quartz. Because it's also, we have to get the boron trioxide. I have diborane provided, so that's fine. I can work from this step. But I still need that quartz, and I still need the molten glass, and I still need to bring in the refined syngas and hot air and kerosene and all that. But I still need to look at what the problem is on the actual glassware currently, because it could just be that the problem is a lack of something. The problem is a underproduction of rubber stoppers, of all things, currently. Where did you just go? At good samples, or great samples. Good and great, actually. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna get a request in for some more of those and just upgrade what I have here. And, like, bring in... Well, I went through the effort of making the diborane here, but I'm gonna import diborane. Yeah, that's what I'll do, is I'm gonna add another station in what limited space I have here. In what limited space I have here. Gosh, I should not have done that. Like, at all, but I should not have done that in a limited area, because I'm going to have to move this whole thing somewhere else, essentially. Oh, goodness. Oh, this is just the substrate. Yeah, if I want more substrate, I'll have to do this somewhere else. And this is only like 30 basic substrate or something like that, or is it 30? Is it 60? Sort of looks like a red belt of output there, buddy. That sort of looks like a red belt of output there, buddy. That sure doesn't look like 60 to me. Yeah, it's enough of those. It's enough of that. This is actually built for 60 and I have a red belt. I guess I was intending to like upgrade. I was intending to upgrade the mini loaders and then add in a second line. That's what that was. Anyway, just bring me the stuff that I've requested, and I'll get going out there because this is a lot faster to do this. Then the next step is alien bacteria for the ethanolamine. Alien bacteria are used in biobatteries as well as in pheromones and growth factor and some other stuff. Basically, it's used in multiple things. So, alien bacteria is going to be a separate factory in and of itself. Yeah, and I will go back here and essentially remove this whole thing from here. So now I will import alien bacteria as alien bacteria, just like I'm importing Crydron and Yadles and Dilmo eggs, glassware, denatured seismite. I have to make the Flutech here though, because I'm pretty sure I don't have that provided on the network. How am I getting the acid gas? That would be convenient, but that's a lot of hot air. Huh. Biofilm and tailings. Nah. Nah, I don't think so. We're doing this one. That's what we're doing. Because I'm doing that elsewhere as well. I'm already doing that one. Alright, alien bacteria. The most alien of bacteria. Optical sets, do I have you provided? I'm pretty sure I do. Optical sets, yeah, they are being provided on the train network. Excellent. I mean, they're pretty simple to make anyway, but still, that's probably more than what I'm making. Hold up, just thinking about that. That's probably more than what I'm making of those. That is a lot of Nexolite. That is a lot of substrate, and that is definitely quite a fair amount of serine. Oh, at least you're productive. Ugh, that's more Zogna. So much Zogna. Beware the Zog. But it's ultimately only it's only 1.3 Kmout. You know, I'm sort of I set up for 10. I set up for 10, so I think I'm okay there. Just gonna take a brief look back over here to see how things are going. Looking like we've still got more pups to go. All right, back over this away. I need to go here. Oh, hey, a tech finished. Woohoo! Woohoo! I have many more purple techs that still can be done, none of which is exactly mission critical at the moment. I mean, it's not like I'm going to be spending my speed module ones because I don't have circuit 3s yet for the splitters. I have this one though, which again, it's not like I'm going to be spending my circuit 3s on those. Once I have circuit 3s, sure, I can actually make this level. Don't know about the next one though. Yeah, the next one is speed module 3s, and those need intelligent units. So we're talking spending circuit 4s to make the 270 item per second belts. Granted, they have a underground distance of 50 units, which is 20 more than what I currently have. It's a bit of an upgrade. Oh yeah, the Vat Brain utility science will also mean that I'll have access to more inventory slots through my quality of life research upgrades. I mean, this is basically replacing the borax input, because this is our diborane at glassware. Bring me diborane. Bring me diborane. Alright, you. There we go. Hello, Ave. Welcome. I'm in the process of continuing to work towards the vat brain biocomputing of utility science, but I'm not making any guarantees today. I have made guarantees for the past 2 streams, and I have failed both times. I'm not going to do that a third time. Because surely we can get vat brain biocomputing done today, right? Oh, wait. I need biopolymer. Oh, wait. I need Dilmos. Oh, wait. I need Kmauts and alien bacteria for the ethanolamine. Oh, isn't that just lovely? So, yeah, considering we're down to the last hour now and I still need to set up the alien bacteria, I don't know if I'm going to actually see the stuffs today. Especially since, at least at the moment, there is in fact a limitation with my overall production because of this thing that I'm fixing, or that I just have fixed up there, which is the amount of glassware being produced. I'm over here right now trying to scale up my production of glassware because it's very limiting. Actually, I don't even need you. Hold up. I don't need you anymore. It is currently limited by these rubber stoppers, which are absolutely not productive. Why would they make these productive? I don't know. I mean, not as if that makes complete logical sense to be a thing to do. So speaking of glassware, the recipe that's being used for the glassware here is actually this one. We're looking at wanting at least 15. So I'm going to need 12. Put a pin on that. This is currently 8. Pretty sure I'm a little low on rubber to do this, but whatever. There we go. That'll improve that. Unfortunately, with the hot air recipes, the efficiency modules are not allowed here. Gee, I wonder why. 31? Seriously? Like, seriously? 31? You want me to have here? I mean, yeah, I guess it's a little slow. Even with a Mark II building. Tell you what, I've got these things, they're called bacons. It's called bacon? It's not even going to be remotely enough. But still, I mean, yeah, we got you at 1. I'm gonna have to see. That's the problem. Space. Space is the issue here. They're also making slightly more than 15, so it's like I have to upgrade this belt because of that. I don't really have to upgrade this belt because I can just, you know, build on the other side. You know, that very convenient thing that I should have been thinking about the whole time. I'd hope if I had buildings. So how many things are here now? 31? You know exactly the amount that I need? Anyway, it's gonna be 8 of these. There we go. Gib. Power. I guess I can remove all of you. And not you. Actually, yeah, you as well. Y'all can go away. And all this stuff. What a difference having the Diborane on the train network makes. You know what? I'm lazy. I'm not going to be back here. So I'm gonna plonk a couple thingies down. I think that doesn't quite cover everything. That will though. Plonk that, and now my Constructobots will be placing these. They're gonna do it for me. Yeah, because now the production is limited by not the rubber stoppers, but by the boron trioxide, which is what it should be limited by. And that was in part limited by the right, water. Like, hold on, there is another thing here that was part of this, right? Yeah, that's fact that this is 2,778 water required. I need to add supplemental water into here. We needed to supplement the water. There you go. But why you full though? Oh right, because that's also da ba da ba ba. That's a lot of throughput of stuff. Okay, every third. That'll supply that. Oh yeah, and you know, it would help if the coke was also supplied. That would go well. Okay, let's do like that because something tells me that I'll need to do some counting. 11:25. So we're looking at 12. Okay, so it's actually here. Oh. Boogers. Oh, boogers. So 750. Yeah, that works. There. That's gonna do it. Throughput. It's a thing that you have to consider. Same deal here with the water, and that will be that. Ta-da! That will ideally begin to solve problems with fish, in particular, and everything else for that matter. But still, ew, no logistics. Stop. Take me home. Okay. All right. Alien bacteria. Get a pin on that. Get some requests going. Give me my gene labs, 20 of them. Give me 30 bioreactors. Give me 20 slaughterhouses, and I don't need anything else, do I? No. No. Bring them to me. Then we have to figure out where we're going to do it. And I have to remember, I have to actually get Kmauts provided onto the train network. Because we haven't put those on the train yet. Because, you know, I I don't have them yet. I don't have any. Do I have any? No. No, I don't have any because I don't have fish. I don't have fish because I don't have enough glassware production, which we've just now improved. It's probably still not quite enough glassware, but it looks like I am beginning. Oh, there goes the dolly. She hears stuff in the kitchen. Yeah, it looks like I may have gotten a singular delivery of some glassware in here. I'm going to need a little bit more than a singular delivery on the glassware for it to get itself moving. So this may take some time. There's a little yellow bot. Yellow, you're on your way. I don't actually need the thing that it was trying to deliver. Yeah, let's just see. The stack size on glassware is 200, I believe. No, not even. It's 50. So, how much am I storing in an individual train load? Okay, you just delivered at fish. I think I have it set to 4 stacks. I think I have it set to 200. But, whatever. 'Tis fine. Wait. Oh. Yeah, you know, about those Kmauts closures, they eat up Mark II assembling machines. They consume assembling machines. I'll go here. Because I'm definitely not lacking for space to build anymore. Because I've got all of these wonderful empty squares around the perimeter now that I can use. I'm tempted to add another power block, but I am very much holding back on doing that because it will change. The actual array will change when I have Mark III combustion turbines. That will just be a thing, and then there's other recipes that I can use for the thing as well. As much as I don't want to rely on an input that I'm making elsewhere in the factory, I may just do it anyway, essentially, because it'll depend. If I want to do the upgraded hot air processing, the actual full hot air processing chain, I'm going to potentially want to spend some 1000°C combustion mix in that process. Potentially. I mean, I've argued that that's a bit too much of an expense for doing hot air processing. And I believe it is a pretty major expense when doing the hot air processing. I really don't think you should be spending the 1000°C combustion mix of which there was only one recipe that gives you the 1000C combustion mix. Well, technically two, but it's the same recipe, just one's using coke, the other's using biomass. If I can remember what tab those recipes are under, that would be great. All right, so it's this right here. Coal briquettes to combustion mix gives 1000C. And it's only the one that uses the refined syngas as well. You can get like 900, you can get 950 out of the fuel rod 5. It's like, come on, why does the fuel rod 5 just not give me the 1000C? Like, come on, it's fuel rod 5. You're spending yellow coke at that point to get the fuel rod 5. The fortunate thing here is that the math is much easier with 1000C steam because you're actually getting the proper outputs from the machines. You're getting the full outputs of the machines. But even then, 100 of this, which translates into power eventually. It's only 0.2 briquettes, and there's like 3 different recipes for the briquettes. I would... I would have to go through again and look to see what's the best way to make the briquettes and stuff in here for this, because you're using petroleum gas and you're using refined syngas, so there's a little bit of a loss there for the power used to make the ingredients for the power. Still, though, that is probably what I'll be doing eventually for power. Anyway, I need my paste of the cages again. I need you. All right, 11. There we go. 11. Hello, bots. Bring up the belt. Bring down the belt. Bring up the power. Now, I suppose I should have mentioned earlier, but recently on my Discord server, I have added a couple of channels. One is just more general information. It is a link to my Goodreads page or profile, because in the last stream talked a lot about light novels and anime. It came up. It was asked about light novels and anime, and talked a good long while about all of that. And I said that I would put up a link to my Goodreads page, which, generally speaking, is what I have read recently. The only things that it's not including are some physical books that I have read, because I just can't be bothered to add those manually. And I added a second channel, an actual available text chat for people to discuss light novels, anime, manga, etc. And for my first post in that channel, I posted my light novel recommendations. Generally speaking, recommendations. It is a list of series that I have read, either in their entirety or more than 10 volumes. So 10 plus volumes, even if I stopped after that. Or for those series that don't have 10 volumes yet, the series that I am actively purchasing on release. Generally. Generally. The ones that I am grabbing and reading as soon as the translations are released in English. For reference, I do not read web novels. I do not read translations of web novels. I do not read translations of light novels that have not been licensed to be translated into English. I do not read ones that have been licensed to be translated into English that have been fan translated. I do not violate copyrights in that way. I will purchase and read the English versions of the light novels as much as I would like to learn enough Japanese to actually read the light novels in Japanese. As it turns out, it is absolutely not cheaper to do that. The light novel prices in Japan are actually slightly higher than what we pay here on average for the ebooks, at least. It's just one thing that I noticed going on to Amazon JP with looking at actual Japanese light novels out there. It's like, ooh boy, that's a little bit more expensive than I was thinking. Just a little bit more expensive than I was thinking. Okay, next we have these, which I still need my bots to place. Okay, I'm gonna have 2 lines of 15 for this, because 30 is just a bit much. 30 is a little tall. I mean, hey, if you're not a fan of light novels, you know, I'm not much of a fan for manga. I mean, everyone has their own preferences. I would much rather read the text on the page than attempt to comprehend still images. I actually like story progression to an extent, and it never feels worth it to get a volume of a light novel. To get a volume of a manga compared to a volume of a light novel. You'll get significantly more out of the light novel than you do out of the manga. I say that, and behind me, I have the first 20 volumes of My Hero Academia, which I have read. I am not continuing with that series, in particular because manga volumes are, like, oftentimes more expensive than light novel volumes, and contain less than a quarter of the actual story content per volume. Just value wise, I can't justify. I've also got like the entire, well, the vast majority of Hunter x Hunter behind me, manga, and various other stuff I haven't even read. Like, I own the Attack on Titan up to volume 19. I haven't read it. I haven't read all 33 of the Hunter x Hunter ones either. It's so bad that I have in fact sold a number of my manga series. I sold my entire boxed set of Naruto, my 3-box set of Naruto, because I wasn't reading it. I wasn't planning on reading it. I tried to read the first set of it, but I just couldn't anymore. It was not interesting to me after watching the bulk of the first part of the series. I was just like, I can't do it. I just can't do it. I just don't care for this format. I will watch anime. I mean, I will absolutely watch the anime of a manga series. But if there is a light novel, I will prefer the light novel. If there is a light novel, I will prefer the light novel. So I sold the Naruto series. I sold Claymore. I had a boxed set of the Claymore series, which I had read, but sold it because I know that I'm never going to read it again. And I had Full Metal Alchemist that I sold, the boxed set of that. I still have a boxed set of Death Note behind me, but I haven't sold that one yet. I would like to eventually read that, but I mean, I still. This is part of the problem of having good memory, is that even though it's been several years since I've watched Death Note, I still feel like it's too fresh in my memory to go back and read the other format, to read it as a manga. And it's also a problem that I've had with some of my light novels that I have behind me that I have not read yet, like ReZero and Danmachi. Is it wrong to try to pick up Girls in a Dungeon? Is the full name of that series. It's there's a few like that actually behind me, where I own it, like even Sword Art Online, and heck, a few volumes of Axel World from the same author. Excel World, excuse me. Yeah, it's just there's stuff where it's like, if I've watched it, I'm not as keen of reading it for some stuff, but then there's other stuff that I've watched it and I actually want to read it. Like this season in the Land of Liddell, I watched it and then I picked up the light novels and I read them to get ahead of the story in the anime, because the novels are far and away ahead, as they usually tend to be. Yeah, Danmachi is surprisingly good, and I have some volumes of the manga and multiple volumes of the light novel, like the first, I think, six or 7 volumes of that, and I have the first 4 or 5. I have at least 3 volumes of ReZero, but it's like it's so fresh in my memory. It seems of these series, and they aren't, and my brain just isn't as interested, shall we say. It's not as engaged towards those series that I just can't bring myself to read them. And some I've started reading and I was like, yep, this is what I saw in the anime. I'm bored now. Then I end up stop reading it. I'm 1, 2 plus 1. All right. As much as I didn't want to have 3 slots here. All right, now we can have the bots building. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoops. A line, please. There we go. Doink, 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 doink. Ta-da! And so for things like Danmachi, I don't actually have it on my recommended list because, well, frankly, I haven't read it. I can't recommend a light novel if I haven't read it. It's like I'm not gonna, like, if it was an anime recommendation, I mean, I guess I would say, hey, if you're interested in that genre or that style of a series, then sure, go for it. It's not fantastic, like, literary work, but still, it's entertaining. Which ends up being, like, my, like, how I determine whether or not a series is good is whether or not a series is entertaining. That's my definition when looking over, reading over anime and light novels and such. Like, the primary thing is it has to be entertaining. If I find it entertaining, then it's fine, it's good. I will continue to experience it until I'm no longer entertained. Do I read any regular novels? I mean, not a ton, but I do read works by Brandon Sanderson. Generally. Things like the Stormlight Archive and the Mistborn series, including the Wax and Wane part of it, which is still pretty good. Not the exact same style as the initial trilogy for Mistborn, but still pretty good. Entertaining. The Wax and Wane series is more like fantasy western. It's fantasy western. And by western, I mean like Old West type. I hear Dolly. Meow. Where's Dolly? Meow. Dolly wants to play now. She's like meowing at me. Okay, let's get this sorted for the inputs and such. Show me this. Chances are I'm not going to do the Vat Brain biocomputing today, by the way. Ahem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 solids and 2 fluids. But yeah, the most recent of the regular light novels I read were book 4 of the Stormlight Archive, which I believe is called Rhythm of War. It's sitting behind me. And I did finally read Elantris as well. So I read those 2 regular novels. But that was over the holidays. Oh, right. I guess technically I read a novella as well, which was Edge Dancer, which is also technically part of the Stormlight Archive. It is an introduction, like quote unquote origin story for one of the characters. In fact, my favorite character from the Stormlight Archive, and that's Lift. Lift is my favorite character in Stormlight Archive. I don't need this down here. I need it like up here, and I need this dot to actually be one of you. And I need a fluid supply station. Any of those around here? Any fluid supply stations around here? Yeah, you. You are one. Ah, how convenient. Yeah, I was a little disappointed with Rhythm of War in that we didn't get as much of that character of Lift in that volume, in that whole book, I should say. Although, fingers crossed, she'll have a bigger role in book 5. Ahem. Which I forget with Stormlight Archive. I think it was supposed to be 2 sets of 5, right? Or was it 2 sets of 6? Because Stormlight Archive is going to be a little bit similar in construction as Mistborn, where you have like the initial set, and then you have a second set. Ah, there are 6, and Lift will be the character focus of book 6. Okay. Okay, I guess that's fine. I guess that's fine. And tentatively, Book 5 is scheduled for autumn of next year. Yeah, I think the most recent update from Brandon Sanderson is that it is currently 2% of the way complete in his like weekly updates. It's 2% done. Okay. How am I doing this? You there. That, up. There. That to there. You down. Perhaps not from there. You down. You're the phytoplankton. You are the Zogna. Oh, looks like they're bringing the cages. That's good. Okay. Think I'm good here. I will do the logistics to the train station, but we need to keep in mind again that I don't have physically the Kmauts on the train network yet. Right. Work from the end. End first. This is the Kmauts. Whoops. So what ended up happening with after I made that new channel on Discord to discuss these things was I was recommended several things to read. There are several things that are on there that were recommended. One in particular, I have in fact started reading as of night before last. That was the if I can even remember its name, wonderful. Wonderful. The beginning after the end. Yes, that series, beginning after the end. I have begun reading that. I read book 1 and I am almost done with book 2 of that. It has been entertaining. I have enjoyed it. It's fairly average. It's not the greatest thing that there ever was or will be, but it is entertaining at the very least. But what I read before that was something that I have to add to my list now, because it will definitely be recommended going forward, and that is the NPCs in this village sim game must be real. It's a very interesting title, but actually it's really, really good. It is literary level good. And I was shocked, completely shocked, because it's the same author that wrote Reborn as a Vending Machine, I Now Wander the Dungeon. It's the same author. And I'm like, what? Excuse me? Still, though, I read the first volume in one sitting and continued to read the following 2 volumes in the series immediately after, with 0 regrets. Absolutely no regrets. Alright, what am I even doing now? I need the other 4 things that are coming in, and it's from here. And I need the pipe. The pipes! The pipes! The pipes! Getting distracted. As usual. Okay. Over here. It'll be a little bit difficult getting to that particular one, so I might have to lower this down over here and have it, like, from here or something. So I'll need Nexalit, basic substrate, petri dishes, and optical sets. Oh, and as for the beginning of the end, that series, the initial volumes are a little bit on the short side, but they are priced accordingly. This is these frames. Oh noes. Are we back? Are we back? I think we back. I think we back. Dropped frames happened. Oh boy. Briefly. As I was saying. As I was saying. This author has a little bit more control over the price of their books and has decided to price based off of general length of the books. So the first volume is actually the cheapest. Volume 2 is a little bit more expensive, but like $1 more. First volume's like $3. It's $2.99. The second volume I think is like $3.99 or something like that, and it goes up to a whopping $4.99 for the last volume, or whatever. It's like it's still cheaper for the last volume of the beginning of the end, or the beginning, whatever the name of that freaking thing is. The whatever. Where are you? Thingy. Where is it? The beginning after the end, I think, is the name of it, but whatever. Stuff. Things. It's relatively short for a light novel at the beginning, but by volume 8, I saw it's over 400 pages long, which is actually really long for a light novel. Light novels are generally between 250 and 400 words. They don't tend to get much longer than that. They tend to average about 300. About 300 words for a normal light novel. And yet, volume 8 of The Beginning After the End is 754 pages. Is 754 pages. Volume 7 is 486. So that's going to be a read. That's going to be a read. I mean, frankly, they could have made 3 light novels out of volume 8. They could have made 3 volumes out of volume 8 most likely. But I'm sure the reason is that the story demanded the length. And that it wouldn't have made sense to split separate volumes. A lot of Japanese authors will pad additional content and essentially craft stories to tell in each volume if they are in a situation where there's a whole bunch of things leading up to a much bigger thing down the line that would have otherwise been a volume, but it would be too much for a volume. They like add more stuff to make separate volumes, complete separate volumes. Diverging considerably from the source material, but it appears as if with the beginning after the end, it is a fairly pure representation of the actual web novel, because it is a web novel as well. And it is merely a compilation of chapters of the web novel, just as the ebooks of it. And it doesn't seem to have modified anything. At least there's been no mention in the afterwards that there's been modifications of anything. So really, if you don't want to spend any money, there are a number of initial chapters of The Beginning of the End available through the official web novel page. The author goes by Turtle Me, and you can find that. It's like linked on the Amazon page, actually. So this is going to be optical sets at Alien back at AB. Request Nexalit at AB. Excuse me. Oh, apparently I already wrote that down. Our basic substrate at AB. Request what? I must have another AB somewhere. Optical sets, basic substrate, Nexalit, petri dishes. And come out. These guys who are not defined, these guys for petri dishes, these guys for Nexalit. Basic substrate, optical sets. Down here we have, this one is phytoplankton. And this one is the Zogna. Phytoplankton. Oh boy. That is this factory. I believe that that is this factory complete. Hey, Dolly. What you doing? What's Dolly doing over there, huh? Yeah, that's your foot. That's your big foot in front of the camera, huh? A baby girl. Yeah. Baby Dolly. Yes, big floofy. Big floofy Dolly. Yeah, resting on the side. Resting on the side. Yeah, that's Dolly with her big foot. With her big footsies. Okay. Let's see what's going on with Kmaut. If we even have any. Come on down. Get rid of that. Lovely. I had a feeling that this would take all day just to make the alien bacteria, which was why I stated that this is all we're doing. Well. You know, I'd rather it be this problem. So we stopped because there weren't enough cages in the system, and the splitting behavior on the cages just wasn't very nice, and of course the speed of the buildings, the buildings, the speed of the belts played a role as well. So I'm just gonna have to either bring more cages over or babysit it for a bit. Or put the logic in for the thingies. Or just, you know, add logic. I could add logic. I'm gonna add logic. It means extending this out. Yep, so that will take care of itself now and start producing Kmauts. That being said, what's your problem? Oh. Yeah, I don't need you filtered anymore. That also would help. That would also help. So I should have a few Kmauts. Just a few that will come down the line and start filling in up here. Autosave is autosaving. Let's see, how many we got now? 120. That's enough for one. That's enough for one. All right. One whole thing. Where are you going? Oh, you're trashing. Right. Right, the bots will still trash if you're in the network, if you have anything in your trash slots. It won't automatically put stuff into the trash slots, but it will take the stuff away. Yeah, so things like these 4 cages here, etc., etc. Well, it's working. I can say that with certainty, but I'm going to need to have it continue to cycle for a while. Oh, and would you look at that? We have a stopped belt. This is exactly what I wanted to have happen. And then, here's the key thing. When these start moving and start pulling in the barrels, it's going to make fresh barrels to add in more into the system. By itself, it won't need more. It'll equalize all on its own. It's absolutely glorious. However, that is the end of today's stream. We've set up Kmauts, as well as alien bacteria. It's ready once the Kmauts are ready. I will get the actual Kmauts put into here between streams. I'll just let it continue to run here when I turn the stream off, and add these as we make them until we have the proper production rates, and then get the train down and start getting the bacteria and get that onto the train network, so that when we next meet, we'll be making VatBrain utility science. We will do this next stream. That's the agenda. Next stream is this factory. Where we go from there, I have no clue. But still, that will be done at least. I think we're going to be doing purified quartz. I have to take a step back to scale a few things. Just a few things. Like plastic, potentially rubber. Trying to think about. Oh yeah, there's bio batteries. I want bio batteries. I want several bio batteries as I work my way towards circuit 3s. Because this uses a half to make one at my current. No, that's at my best productivity levels. At my current productivity levels, it'll be more than that. But I will be vastly overproducing. I will be vastly overproducing. This will be fine. Everything will be awesome and magnificent, but there's a lot of work I need to do to get into circuit 3s. Not the least of which is biobatteries. We also need chitosan, which needs alien enzymes, which needs propeptides and calmodulin binding mutant peptides, which will need dingrits to make those propeptides, which will need scrondrix to make the pineal glands to make the calmodulin binding mutant peptides. On top of general scaling of everything else. I think that's the main blockers, though. Does this have the coding broken down? Because that's also diamonds. Yeah. So cooling systems are a new ingredient to Circuit 3s compared to the last time I played this, and it adds in advanced coatings as a requirement to get into Circuit 3s, which, this is an ingredient for the normal production science recipe, which needs diamonds. So we have scrondrix, dingrits, diamonds, as well as bio batteries as major builds to get to the Circuit 3s. Once we get through those really major builds, I think we're okay. Everything else fits into place neatly because I have the ingredients otherwise. We already have the gold, as well as the graphene rolls, as well as the phosphate glass. I'll need the epoxy and like scaling of the other input ingredients, but yeah. The next thing though is this bio battery, and I'll need to further scale my alien bacteria, cough cough, as well as make neodymium magnets, nanofibrils from, Kaido-san, from, Scrondrix and Dingrits. I'll need glass fibers at scale. I'll need lithium niobate, which it's a little tiny bit of rare earth oxides and a little tiny bit of hydrogen chloride here that I'll be needing, and yeah, this stuff too. With that, folks, that's our plan going forward. I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Shibut. If you have enjoyed today's stream, please be sure to do all of the social and engagement stuff down below the video. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you've not yet subscribed, and hit the notification bell. Consider becoming a member of the channel by hitting the great big blue join button and supporting on Patreon at patreon.com/otakushowboat if you're so inclined and able, as she has her little tongue sticking out. Yeah. I'll be back on Thursday. I hope to see you all then.